Mickey Talks.
Hey, everybody. It is, what's this, 71, Matt?
Show number 71 today.
I would have never believed it in a million years.
Should have been 72 today, actually, technically.
Yeah, well, yesterday, we should say, I mean, it's kind of a little crazy right now, the storms and stuff. But yesterday, we had basically power problems where we bought broadcast from the building we're in.
But it wasn't just our building. It was like the entire block here.
The entire building. It's a whole
Yeah.
block, one building. And where we are, they lost a transformer. And we didn't
Those
get
dang robots.
right. We didn't get real word until about 3:45, almost 3:50.
Yeah.
That the words were probably be okay.
Yeah.
And because we got knocked off Friday, I was like, I don't even want to do it. Like, I don't want to embarrass the show anymore.
Yeah, we talked about like maybe doing a remote, but you and me sitting out in front of a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, in a car.
Man.
Yeah. So I think we did the right thing. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
We are back. You will be off Friday. I think I'm going to do a solo show.
On the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I am. And see what happens. You know what I mean? But it's just going to be fun. I'm going to invite people up.
You're going to be at Natalie's, right?
Yeah, just hang out and tell stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Just funny stories. And
Yeah, that's a good idea.
not do like a normal show, just kind of like an out and about sort of thing. How was your weekend?
It was good, man. Yeah, I got some fireworks in on Saturday, and I got to see our friend Dennis Shockett, who does our theme song.
Oh, did you go up to Jacksonville?
Yeah, he played in his Beatles tribute act there. They were phenomenal.
Aren't they ridiculous?
I mean, just unbelievable.
He's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about it, I think either you or Liz posted a picture of your mom and dad and Liz and your daughter and you.
Yeah, it was Liz's parents, actually. But yeah,
is that who it was?
It was all of us out there.
Yeah. It was a nice picture, man. Nice to see your family having fun like that.
How about you, man? How was your weekend?
Mine was good, actually. What did I really do?
And of course, we had lunch with our good friends too over the weekend.
Where were we?
We were at Sarah's place.
Oh my
the Queen's
God! I was
house.
getting ready to tell you my whole weekend. Yeah. So here's basically what happened this weekend. Is I went Friday night, left Natalie's, went straight to what is that called? Harbor, to host the Rockin' the Harbor event, and then from there went home because I was exhausted. And then Saturday got up, did a bunch of stuff, running around. Had a lot of work to do, and then Sunday I had Red Eyes Dock Bar to do the bikini contest there, and then from there went to Sarah's house to meet up with you and Colleen and Sarah and all the 98 Rock folks that we worked with. But Kirk, I had just
You just missed Kirk because you
How
got there
much
late.
fun was he?
He was great. Of
He's
course,
the best, dude. I love him. And this mic stand, everybody messes with stuff when I'm not here. Drives me nuts. All right, I'm good now.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I had a good weekend. I can't say it's bad.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the big holiday, this weekend. I got to tell you a funny story, though. I walked into a convenience store. And I'm not trying to get political. It's just funny. And the guy behind the counter was watching TV. And they had that guy from New York that's running for mayor, the Muslim guy, the socialist Democrat.
Yeah.
And this guy behind the counter is Muslim. The only reason I know that is because he turned around and told me. He's watching the TV as I walked up to the counter. And he turns to me and he says, this man is a jackass, pointing to the mayor guy, right?
Yeah.
Another Muslim. And I was like, really? He goes, you can't do what he wants. I can't do the accent, but you can't do what he wants to do. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not even, what's he want to do? He's like, he wants to take everybody's rich money and give it to all the poor people. So everybody's equal.
He's Robin Hood.
Yeah, he's Robin Hood. Well, he's really not, though. It's a little different. He's straight up thief.
Yeah.
And me and this guy had like a 10-minute talk. And this guy was from Pakistan and was basically like, I came to America to make millions of dollars. And when I make them, I don't want someone taking them because they don't want to work.
Of course.
And I was like, it's interesting to hear from an immigrant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one thing for us fat slobs that were born here and have a cakewalk. But to come here as a young man and make the dream of making your way and making millions and being able to live an amazing life, And he's basically saying that guy's a dick. Well, I'm not doing that. I just thought it was interesting. I don't care. I don't live in New York.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people with money that may not live in New York anymore if their taxes are going to be jacked up.
Well, have you seen the exodus that's going on there?
No, is it?
Oh, my God. People are like
California, huh?
Yeah. It's a mass exodus, man. Listen, rich people that pretend to be so liberal and all that, until they reach in their pocket and say, okay, time to pay up for everything you care so much about. And then that's when they start going, well, we didn't really understand it. It looked cool on a poster.
Florida looks nice. It's warm down there.
Yeah, go live in Florida. Yeah, watch how quick they turn conservative, too. It's just all a joke. But this guy was cool. I like this guy. And I found out that my View, I smoked the Views, the nicotine, and his are cheaper than a lot of places. So I'm going to be...
What do you mean View? That's your brand of...
Views is the brand of vape that I use.
Okay.
That's who makes the pods.
Gotcha.
Of nicotine. So I use them. But anyway, I go in there.
What are you going to do? You going to wean yourself off of that nicotine?
Eventually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, right now I feel good. I weaned off medicine and depression stuff, all of it. I got off everything. And I've been feeling like myself again, feeling good. I've lost weight. A lot of people told me it's hard to lose weight when you come off the meds and stuff, and because your body's regulated, and then you start screwing with things. But I got to tell you, Matt, first month was a little rough for me. I didn't sleep well, was confused at times, just because you're taking medicine for your brain.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, though, once I got off of it, I'm not telling anyone to get off of it. Medicine saved my life for a long time. But I just felt like, man, maybe it's time I go back to what I remember of life. And I'm starting to feel it again. You know what I mean? It's like weird things happen. You didn't even think about it. Like waking up happy and excited.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last. I used to wake up like it was doom and gloom. Now I wake up, I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I get right on my phone. I start working. Yeah. I get up. I eat breakfast now every day. I never used to do that.
And that's all been since you've quit taking the medication you were on, huh?
Well, I mean, I went crazy. Wouldn't I say I went crazy? I went and finally got help. I don't think that's my phone, dude. Is that yours?
No. It's probably the studio phone.
That's not even on, is it? No, I don't know what's happening. My phone's not even on, the ringer. Yeah, I don't know. I apologize. I hear it. I don't know where the hell anything's coming from. But anyway, when I got off the meds, buddy, it was just a matter of I think it was understanding what I was really going through at the end. I knew I faced it finally. Instead of the medicine was Band-Aids. And then I went in and did the work for myself. All the shit that was depressing me and making me sad and all that crap that I didn't feel like dealing with. Finally just dealt with it all. Now I feel good. And I feel like I don't need that shit anymore.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things that people should stay on, of course. Yeah. You should just trash your medicine. But, like you said, if it was kind of a temporary Band-Aid and then you actually dealt with this stuff, I mean, that's the work.
Yeah. I mean, it was interesting to go through, but here I am, 6 months later, basically 5 months. And I look what's happening.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild that just standing in front of the mirror and staring at yourself for about 3 weeks and going, you're a dick. You're just an asshole. Stop complaining. Things hurt. Things are sad. Things are this. Yes, depression is a real thing with real effects and real feelings and real emotions, but you can live your life with them and it doesn't have to own you. It still does at times. There's times where for an hour or two, I'll be like, and I just battle through it.
Yep.
But I'm glad I'm doing it, and I'm glad I'm not on the meds anymore. My energy's better. I seem to be more willing to accept things that I wouldn't accept before. It's interesting.
That's great, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What did the docs tell you? When you said you were going off?
They told me to do it the right way, to wean off. Don't just crash your body. So over a couple of weeks, I just weaned off. Then when I was off, I had about 2 weeks. They said I would get things called the zaps. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what those are.
Have you been on?
I haven't, but I've heard what they are for sure.
So you're just sitting there and all of a sudden your whole brain goes, gee. And you're like, what the hell was that? And it feels
That
like,
is scary.
yeah, but what it is, I mean, you learn that the medicine fires signals in your brain.
I think that happens when you take too much of the medication too, though, doesn't it?
I never took too much, so I don't know the answer to that. I do know that
brain zaps,
or what I call them. I don't know what else you call them.
No, that's exactly what I've heard them called.
Yeah, and they're weird. I had those for like a week and a half, 10 days. Then they went away, and now it's just, your patience runs a little thin sometimes, but you don't explode like I used to, which is good. But no, I'm glad I'm off it. I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, sexually, there's side effect. I was still able to have sex, but it would take a really long time because the medicine kind of numbs you. It's weird. That's better now. I eat way better now. I eat until I'm full. I used to just eat, man.
Oh, you mean portion-wise you eat better?
Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
So much better. I eat probably.
See, that's my problem, I think.
Yeah.
It's not, I eat relatively healthy.
Right.
I eat some junk. And I have a sweet tooth.
Sure.
But throughout the day, I eat healthy. I just overeat, I think. I think the portions I eat are too much.
I think a lot of people overeat because of nerves and anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a calming feeling to eat.
Some people don't eat at all when they have anxiety.
I'm kind of.
I'm the opposite.
Right.
If I'm stressed out, I'm gonna stress eat.
Right. No, I hear you, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really does make sense. I just think, at the end of the day, I'd rather be happy. You know what I mean when I'm eating.
Sure.
So now I don't eat to the point where I'm like,
right.
Now I don't mind getting up.
It's so fun eating like that, though. Sometimes
there's nothing better. I love nothing more than eating a pound of rigatoni, a bunch of bread, and then just laying down and going into a food coma.
Or just rip open that bag of Oreos and you
See,
just clean out a row.
See, I can't. Yeah, I mean, I have a friend that probably eats a bag of Chips Ahoy, the blue bags.
Yeah.
He probably eats one of those in 2 days. Probably eats 4 a week.
I'm
not making it up.
No, I could do that easily.
Can you really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't.
You can eat a bag of cookies in a day.
You're talking about that container where you rip it open. Yes. It's got 3 rows of cookies.
You can eat that in one day.
In one day? That would be excessive for me.
2 days, no problem.
2 days, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now I have
a sweet tooth. Do you have a sweet tooth?
I used to have a terrible one.
Yeah.
I used to eat a pint of Ben & Jerry's New York Super Fudge Chunk.
Yeah.
Every night.
Wow.
Every night
a pint.
Every night.
Wow.
I was spending $50 a week on ice cream. Easy. Eat maybe more. I don't even know how much they cost.
Did you ever add up how many calories that is?
Yeah, it's 1,000 calories
per day. You're eating 5,000 calories a week in just ice cream.
Easy.
Yeah. I was probably doing that easy in snacks though too.
Yeah, of course.
When I would sit down in front of the TV at night, that's my problem.
Yeah.
That's when I finish off the bag of Doritos.
You know what's weird? I like to lay down in bed and watch TV.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people like to sit in a recliner. I think if you're sitting, you eat more.
Yeah.
I don't like.
I don't eat in bed. So
I don't like.
We don't have a TV in our room either, though.
Not at all.
No.
Oh, I couldn't stand that.
We got a TV in the living room and then in our basement.
Does your daughter have a TV in her room?
She does.
You don't like one in your room, or is that?
I don't. I think my wife would prefer to have it. She could sleep with the TV on.
Yeah, I'd like to sleep with the TV on.
Oh, I'll get a headache all night. It drives me nuts.
Really?
Yeah.
I couldn't marry you.
Cannot sleep.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've gotten better. I've gotten better with no TV, but I do like some
and just
noise.
the blinking light of the TV would drive me nuts.
No, I just turn over. I have that ambient light in the room, which I like. I don't like the dark. I've told you this. I hate the dark.
I didn't know that about you. You don't like the dark at all?
Petrified of it.
Really?
Hate it.
Huh.
Don't like it. Never did. I grew up in old houses my whole life. So old houses are creepy with basements. And our bathroom was in the basement. So you had to go down there and you're 11 and it's dark. It's the winter.
Yeah, that fear's built into your DNA, man.
It's terrible.
That's you going down into the cave and there's a saber-toothed tiger in there waiting for you.
Exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Except in my case, it's always a dude that's skinny and bald, but has that male pattern baldness and it's long and stringy. and he's got a knife, and he's dressed
Did you
in a
just describe
Speedo.
me?
Yeah. No, I said he's skinny. Other than that, dead on. But no, man, let's get into it today. Brought to us by Barnes Paving. The amazing people at Barnes Paving have been keeping us afloat, and we cannot thank them enough. BARNESpaving.com. For anything that you think you need, they can do it. They're the best at what they do, MHIC licensed and insured, and I can guarantee you this, the nicest paving company you'll ever meet. So let's get into it with our version of the news. Here it is. That's the facts. Matt.
So Diddy, this is the final stretch here for the Diddy case. Jury deliberations got underway in the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs. However, the 8 men and 4 women on the jury hit a speed bump in the first hour. Apparently, juror 25 can't follow instructions. The judge's instructions to the jury totaled 62 pages on how to reach verdict by considering witness testimony and evidence, but never information seen outside the courtroom, of course. The jury foreperson sent a message into the courtroom, and the judge read the note aloud, which said, "We have a juror, number 25, who we are concerned cannot follow your honor's instructions." So they wanted him to kind of intervene.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that juror is a veterinarian in his 50s with a PhD in molecular biology, and he admitted to being, quote, vaguely aware of Diddy's case before being sworn in. The judge replied for the jury to try to work through the issue, but come back if the concerns continue. The judge has the option at any stage through the trial to replace jurors with alternates. So the day ended with the jury asking the judge how to assess the narcotics distribution charges against Diddy. They were supposed to hear the judge's response this morning. And the jurors are not sequestered, which kind of surprised me in this case.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird thing because are they really like, I think in the OJ trial, there was, I guess it's the same. Yeah, I don't know why they weren't. I don't understand that.
It seems strange. If anybody knows, tell in the comment if you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a lawyer over the weekend too, talking about the trial, and we were worried that he would get off on this case, like they wouldn't be able to prove it beyond the shadow of a doubt. But this lawyer made a good point. He said they don't need to prove every single thing. They need to go, that sounds all right, but he's wrong here. And if they just get him on one thing, they can kind of put him away.
Well, I mean, that apparently is the ultimate test with all this is where is he as far as like, has he done enough horrible stuff to put him away for life, regardless of a couple other things?
Yeah. I mean, they got to get him on that racketeering charge. So it's like conspiracy to sex traffic people or push drugs or whatever the other charges they were trying to get.
I get it, man. It's all shit and horrible and just absolute debauchery that we're all watching every day. I think it's absolute shit. You know what I mean? I really do.
I was hoping we were going to get some kind of answer today, but the judge gave him 62 pages on how to deliberate.
Yeah.
And it's been, what's it been? 30 days plus of testimony. They've got to go through every single one of those things.
I can't even imagine what that's like for anybody.
I can't either.
That's brutal.
And then you got a guy that, is apparently sketchy or, is using outside information.
Yeah, I totally get it. I think it's ridiculous.
Meanwhile, Diddy's son just released a song with Kanye West called Diddy Free.
I don't even want Matt. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck his kids. Fuck Kanye. Fuck all of them.
Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about them. I hope the song, I hope they get arrested for making it. I'm just this nepotism bullshit of these horrible people.
Crazy people. Man.
Yeah. And now we're supposed to worship their kids. Like what I'd rather do is get these kids a goddamn counselor.
Yeah, hey man. I was just gonna say, man, I feel bad for the kids.
Of course you do.
It's their dad.
It's their dad, and he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And now they're gonna follow right in his footsteps.
And they don't want to believe that,
Why would you? It's your dad.
Right. And then you got Kanye in your ear.
It's just the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that whole it seems to me, I don't know, that whole reality TV culture.
Yeah.
And I put all those rappers on it. They're all the same. Like, and it's not a black thing. It's white too. Like the Kardashians, the Chrisleys, all these people that want us to know what they're doing 24/7, right? I just cannot, and for the life of me, realize what purpose they serve, other than it's like going to the zoo, but the zoo's in your house. You don't have to walk through the park.
That's
you
it.
Just sit there and watch these assholes just do dumb shit, and then we're all, and then they do good shit, and we're supposed to act like they're apostles.
Yeah.
It's just fuck them. I just.
Yeah. I mean, the sad part is that the only reason they're famous is because we made them famous.
Well, I mean, that's anybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look at anybody. Look at De Niro. Right. 70-year career thrown down the drain, just because of a statement he makes about politics. Right.
Yeah.
It's the same with all these idiots.
And the Kardashians are billionaires, right?
Yeah, and I have no problem. By the way, I have zero
of course.
problems with. I think that woman, the mother, is smart. I think she's got a beautiful family. I mean, they're beautiful people. There's no bullshit there. They're branding. They've branded themselves. They made a product out of nothing.
Yeah, look,
I got nothing but respect for them.
The American dream, right?
Yes.
I mean, come on.
But when you start telling me how to live because you have a reality show or a #1 song, you can kindly get fucked. Like, I don't have any time for it anymore.
Yeah. You're not going to take any Kim Kardashian advice?
I actually like her. Like, I like the things she tried to use her quasi-celebrity for.
Yeah.
Like getting people out of jail. She's done a lot of good work, like social justice work, which is important in a free society because people do get left by the wayside. But, all the bullshit, all the leaked pictures, all that shit, her sisters and
yeah,
it's just the dad's now abroad. Like, I don't get what the hell's going on. I can't follow it.
Yeah.
I
hear you.
I don't know.
I don't want to follow it. It hurts my head to follow that stuff. So, there were over 300 people charged in a $14.6 billion healthcare fraud scheme. The Justice Department and state partners have charged 320 people in what they call the biggest healthcare fraud sweep ever. Investigators say the schemes range up to $14.6 billion in false Medicare and Medicaid claims, more than double last year's record. There are nearly 100 medical professionals, including 25 doctors, are among the accused. The cases span 190 federal indictments and 90 state actions. Seized loot tops $245 million in cash, cars, crypto, and property. And the largest sting, which they called Operation Gold Rush, alleges a $10 billion catheter billing scam that stole patient IDs from more than 1 million Americans. Officials warn transnational crime rings are turning U.S. healthcare into a rich target.
Listen, I have said this for so long that who's going to save the healthcare system?
Who do you think?
Criminals. Think I'm kidding.
Explain.
The way the system is set up now, we are a customer to every health provider in the world. We have a social security number. We are just a product. We walk in, we're a customer. They service us, we get bills. We have no idea what anything costs.
Yeah.
That's
a problem.
We go into a hospital, you're never given a price sheet.
No, it's ridiculous, man. Like, would you ever go into a restaurant and they would say, I'll just order and we'll tell you how much it costs later?
Yeah, I'll have dinner.
Yeah.
And then they give you a bill, it's $300. You go, what?
Right.
Well, you enjoyed it.
It was a Big Mac.
Yeah, it's horse shit.
Yeah.
But I think criminals are going to exploit it to the point where the healthcare system can't even survive. I think they're going to nail the healthcare systems.
Well, they are. They're getting busted, though.
Yeah, they'll catch them, but it's going to get so big, and so it's going to go on for so long. It's going to force major reform. People worry that the government gets into healthcare and all that crap. I get it. I do. And I think we could have both. I think the government should take care of the bullshit, the colds, the viruses, and then privatize surgeries and major disease, right? But you go in you go to a doctor, that should cost $30. They swab your nose and you sit there for 20 minutes and they go, no, you don't have nothing. And it's $190.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. I'm sitting in a room for 2 hours with 90 other people. You're so filled up.
Like an X-ray, it's literally a photograph.
Yeah, it's a photograph. It's $400.
A digital picture.
A digital picture. It's $400.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, enough.
Yeah, we don't have a true free market here,
no,
unfortunately. That's what we need.
We do, but we penalize it if it's too good.
And there's a ton of collusion between the insurance companies and the hospitals.
All of it. It's all horse shit. And the government.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. That's why I barely go to the doctor. If I'm not if I'm sick, like if I got a bad cold, I just wait it out.
Yeah.
Like I waited. If I hurt myself, I see how it feels in 2 days. If it's no better, I know something's broke.
Yeah. It takes a lot to get me to the doctor too.
Right.
Mostly because I'm a wuss, but
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the doctor, but
I don't like any medical procedures.
Yeah,
man.
you're like 9 years old. I'm learning.
You should have seen me when I was 9, man. I have memories of me being 9, trying to get a shot at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
And they had to send several of their employees chasing me around the building to get me back into the doctor's office.
You took off?
I don't think I was 9. I was probably a little bit younger than that. I ran, man. I was out.
Forgive me. Are you an only child?
No, I've got a brother and a sister.
Are you the youngest?
Oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yeah.
And you were the baby.
Yep. Yeah. Both my brother and sister probably did way better than me with all that stuff. Yeah.
Was there a big difference between you age-wise?
Not really. We were all pretty
like a
close.
Normal family.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's usually like either the middle kid or the youngest that was just treated like a prima donna.
Yeah.
Right. And they get bratty. Usually the oldest is the one that goes, yeah, I had to do everything.
I just hated needles and I still do. But, I didn't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, I get it, man. I do.
So I took
really
a run.
do.
I ran for it, man. I went on the run.
So-called marathon man. Running Man. What was that Schwarzenegger movie? The Running Man, where you had, if you survived through the night, you won. They tried to kill you though. Like
that's what was happening, man.
Yeah, you just took off. They're trying to kill me. Screw this.
How do you feel about fireworks, man?
I love them.
I love them too. We talked about that, but how do you feel about the fireworks that non-professionals set off?
I love them.
Do you?
I mean, if they're not 4 a.m,
yeah,
I don't even mind the occasional 10:30, 11.
Yeah,
guy lights off a couple just to remind us that he's drunk and a badass. I'm with it.
I feel like you. I don't care too. I guess I have some compassion for the people's animals, dogs.
Problem like I have now is where I'm living. I hear fireworks 2-3 times a week. So I'm not sure what's actually happening.
I hear you, man. In my neighborhood, it sounded like the Revolutionary War happens in my neighborhood.
Yeah. We're not I stay not far from you sometimes, very close, in fact. And it can get wild.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, the San Jose police have seized 1.5 tons of illegal fireworks going into the 4th. They kicked this past weekend off with raids and saw them seize over 3,000 pounds of illegal explosives, resulting in multiple arrests. They say that 1,300 pounds of explosives and more than 50 improvised explosive devices were found in just one storage unit. So these are like homemade fireworks. They contain hundreds, if not 1,000 times more than the legal limit of explosive powder.
Good.
How do you feel about that?
That's like military grade fireworks.
Now that I don't want any of that in my neighborhood.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Hey Matt, I want to see if I can make this shot. Keep the camera on you.
Me?
See if it goes behind you and in.
All right, let's see.
Missed.
Oh, dude, no contract for you yet.
No. Give that fan a canceled contract.
Well, there is a new trend, Mick. I don't know if you heard about this, that people are wanting to use Ozempic, but it's too expensive. So people are ordering the active ingredients from China and mixing up their own weight loss drugs.
Say it again.
So the people that want to do Ozempic, right,
are just going through the ingredients, ordering the ingredients, and then making their own medicine.
Yeah, from China.
Oh, that should work.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
In what she calls the Wild West of obesity medicines, Missouri-based Amy Spencer is a pioneer. Each week, the mother of 2 injects herself with weight loss drugs, 2 of which are in clinical trials and not yet approved for sale by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Amy Spencer is 50, and she's not part of any drug trial, but mixes the cocktails herself using tiny doses that she believes are safe. The total cost is about $50 monthly, as little as 1/10 of what she would expect to pay their makers for full treatment. The drugs are manufactured and shipped from China, according to the packaging. She orders them from online vendors. Spencer belongs to a fast-growing group of Americans turning to what many call the gray market for obesity medicines, bringing cheap active ingredients from China, often labeled as for research purposes. It's a trend that drug makers say is dangerous as well as illicit.
Yeah, listen, Matt, I am. It's like the old Mitch Hedberg joke.
Yeah.
He said, they say the Sprite is made out of lemon and lime. I tried it. I think there's more to it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You asked me my favorite comedian the other day, man.
Yeah.
He is definitely on my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, he's incredible.
Yeah.
But to me, Stephen Wright.
That's who I was going to say. I meant to say Stephen Wright.
I watched
but I do love Mitch as well.
I watched Stephen Wright. It's so weird. It came up on my reels last night.
Yeah.
His original Tonight Show appearance.
Yeah,
it's like 79 or 80. And it's just incredible.
Blew me away, man. I mean,
just such a genius.
What's the album? Pony?
Pony, yeah.
Love it, man. Masterpiece.
A couple of my favorite all-time jokes. I mean, what was the one? My neighbor's got a circular driveway. Now they can't leave their house.
Yeah, or powdered water. I bought powdered water the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know what to add.
Powdered water's great. I love my friend just sent me a postcard. It was a picture of the planet Earth. On the back, it said, "Wish you were here."
He's like, I went home to my apartment, accidentally stuck my car key in the doorknob. It started up.
Yeah.
So I drove it around for a while.
He's just great. I love him. Mitch, I think, was a little more creative, and he took him a little longer, like with his bits, like in other words, Mitch took the concept of those one-liners and kind of made stories out of them.
Right.
Which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, man. He did his own twist, but he was definitely the GOAT though, man.
Stephen
Wright.
Hands down. Yeah. Without a doubt.
So man, did you hear what happened with the lottery in Norway?
No, somebody won $80.
Well,
what the hell happened?
No, well, unfortunately, mistakenly, they told thousands that they'd won up to 100 times what they actually scored.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so thousands of Norwegians thought they were rich after the state lottery app flashed six-figure Euro jackpot wins late on Friday. Hours later, the operator called Norsk Tipping confessed a coding slip had multiplied Euro prizes by 100 instead of dividing by 100, meaning that no one actually struck it big. Families who had already planned car buys and home makeovers voiced anger. Regulators demanded answers, and Norway's culture minister summoned company leaders for an emergency talk. So on Sunday, the chief executive just resigned, taking the blame for the error, while auditors began combing the game engine for more faults. Apparently, Norsk Tipping, which has already been criticized for earlier tech glitches, insists no incorrect payouts were made. But the brief burst of false joy has shaken public trust in the national gambling monopoly.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
If you ask me, they should have paid every single one of those people.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because somebody made a mistake?
Yes.
No.
In that case, come on.
I was at the track one time.
When you that's almost,
and I won an exacta, and they put up $190,000 as what it paid, and it was $19. Should I really get $190,000 because some dude hit the zero wrong by mistake? It's not fair. Everybody knows it's the truth.
I guess you're right.
You're not getting cheated.
I don't know how their lottery played out exactly, though.
What do you mean?
I mean, I kind of look at it like those stupid fake scratch-offs, which are those people that give out those fake scratch-off tickets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those people are going to hell. There's a special place in hell for them.
Oh, the fake.
But it's kind of like that. It's like you scratch this thing off, and you're like, "Oh my God, I won $50,000!" And they're like, "No, I didn't. Just joking." That's emotional torture.
Yeah, no, I agree. But still, I mean, if it's a mistake, it's a mistake. That's just how I feel. A guy makes a mistake on a computer and everybody gets $1 million. No,
with the lotteries, all the money they're making,
They
just to save face. Don't you think they should hook them up?
You realize most of these lotteries are just 50-50s, right? They're 50-50s.
Well, what I'm saying is they should have given whatever that money was to the people and skip the profits.
But it wasn't the right prize.
I don't know how it played out, but like if you got some kind of notice saying you won X amount of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's that, if you got a note, but like, I just thought you meant like they did the drawing and they flashed the wrong amount up on the screen.
What was the exact?
I might be confused here.
Yeah, maybe you're right because it says the state lottery app flashed the six-figure euro jackpot.
Yeah, I mean
wins.
It's just a mistake somebody made typing.
All right, you're right. It just
it sucks. I mean, it's one of those things where like the girl gets naked in your bed and then she falls asleep.
I don't know.
If
it was my company, I feel like I would want to do something to help save face in this situation, though.
Yeah, I think maybe
something.
You give them a free lottery ticket the next week or something. But it's not like they stole what they were supposed to get.
Yeah, you're right.
They were never supposed to get that in the first place.
I hear you.
I don't mean to be a party pooper.
No, you're right.
Just the way I see it.
You're right, though. There should be at least some little attempt to save.
Send them a hat.
Face. Yeah.
Send them a hat. Well, where is it again? Norway. Send them a hoodie or what's that? North Face jacket.
Right.
Do that.
So Denmark, they are trying to solve the whole deep fake problem by letting people copyright their own face. What do you think of that?
So that's an interesting thing because with AI now, there can be people who can literally make things in your image.
Yeah.
That can put you in horrible positions.
The law's going to be sticky. So this is
Did I tell you what I started doing?
What?
Breadcrumbing.
What is that? Just
marking on your phone where you are, right? Because let's say somebody makes.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by that? What do you do?
So you can on my phone, I can just say, I was at this location now, right?
Okay.
So let's say tomorrow I wake up.
You mean you make a note or there's some kind of
I forget how it works.
GPS type thing.
Yeah, just like you're here through Google.
Yeah.
And you can just mark where you are. And so like I was like, well, if somebody says I was at a party and I did cocaine and they have video of me, I've never done cocaine in my life. So I know that would be a lie, but I could be like, no, look, dude, I was in Salisbury Thursday night when you said I was there. Yeah. You're a liar.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they can make a video of you doing cocaine in somebody's living room.
In Towson on Thursday, but I was in Salisbury.
Yeah. So the Danish government is going to clamp down on the creation and dissemination of AI-generated deepfakes by changing copyright law to ensure that everybody has the right to their own body, facial features, and voice. The Danish government said on Thursday it would strengthen protection against digital imitations of people's identities with what it believes to be the first law of its kind in Europe. Having secured broad cross-party agreement, the Department of Culture plans to submit a proposal to amend the current law for consultation before the summer recess and then submit the amendment in the autumn. So this will also cover realistic, digitally generated imitations of an artist's performance without consent. Violation of the proposed rules could result in compensation for those affected. Listen to this, though. The government said that the new rules would not affect parodies and satire, which would still be permitted.
Really?
What do you think of that? How do you, then you're in court trying to say, oh, it was just satire. But meanwhile, people are looking at this video thinking it's you in the living room doing cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the old hustler Jerry Falwell case?
The preacher?
Yeah. So it was really a landmark copyright case because what happened was Larry Flynn, who owned Hustler, did a parody piece about Jerry Falwell losing his virginity to his mother in an outhouse, right?
It was like a cartoon or something?
Yeah, it was a parody.
Okay.
Right? Well, Jerry Falwell photographed that page, put it in his newsletter, and sent it out to all his parishioners to raise money to defend himself. Larry Flint countersued him for copyright infringement
infringement.
because he used his magazine
Right.
to gain money. It was
Wow.
brilliant.
So he won that case?
Yeah, it's one of the most famous free speech. Did you ever see The People versus Larry Flint?
I did.
The movie?
Yeah.
And that's what that whole case is.
Right.
And I
don't remember that part though. That's funny.
It's one of the best parts of the movie is when somebody said he's suing you for slander and what's the other word?
Copyright infringement?
No. Libel and slander. And his lawyer goes, "What do you want to do?" And Larry goes, "Countersue." And he goes, "For what?" He goes, "Copyright infringement." And his attorney goes, "Holy shit, you're right."
That's hilarious.
It's
man.
unreal.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
Great. Yeah.
I do worry about this, especially a guy like me, good looking as I am.
Yeah.
People are going to be using my face. I mean, look at this, Matt.
Sure.
How do you not?
Yeah, you're trouble, man.
I'm going to be on the body of a lesbian. That's what my face will be on. It'll be on the body of a lesbian. I'll be at a protest somewhere against everything I believe in. That's what I'm going to end up. That'll be my AI video that takes me down.
You're going to have to move to Denmark, man.
I would move to Denmark.
Yeah.
Man, I would be the smallest person over 9 in Denmark. You ever seen them Nordic
You're
people?
probably like 6'8".
Dude, when I was in Iceland, I bought my son or my daughter a snowsuit while I was there.
Yeah.
It almost fit
Huge.
me. It was a 2-year-old. It was huge.
Yeah.
They're huge people.
Yep.
I mean, they're
The Vikings, man.
yeah, they're Vikings.
Yeah.
And the women are like average height's probably like 5'9".
Wow.
They're just beautiful, but huge.
Yeah.
Huge. But I will say, when I was like out in public, the girls liked me there. They did. Yeah, I think because I was small.
They're like, "Oh, a leprechaun."
Not exactly. The accent's weird in Iceland.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Like I can't even do it.
Oh my God, those words!
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Fjord.
It's like the Swedish chef, right?
But yeah, beautiful people, man. Beautiful.
If you could put up with that accent, right?
I could learn too.
Yeah.
I could also buy a translator and just say, talk into that thing and text it to me.
Well, Mick, you're going to be happy because there is a company called Cloud Climax that forget the Nordic people. They have a new robot girlfriend that will only cost you $90,000.
It'll be $20,000 within 2 years. Mark my words.
Yeah, it'll come down, I'm sure.
And it'll be $5,000 within 5 years.
She can serve you coffee, speak 4 different languages, and have context-based conversations. The world's most expensive robot girlfriend is here, and but the silicone lover will cost you an eye-watering $90K.
Yep.
The price of a small house in some parts of the world.
Yeah.
The doll, called the Companion Robot X04 Sync 2, can have context-aware chats using AI chatbot ChatGPT, learning from past chats to adapt to future ones. Let me put her up on the screen here, Mick.
Yeah, I'd love to see her, my future wife.
Yeah, you have several different options.
All right, let me say yes to all.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they also come with robotic facial expressions and arms and hands that move to convey expression. And like something from a sci-fi epic, the dolls have micro cameras planted in the eyes to allow them to recognize people by face tracking. Uncanny footage shows the bot flexing its arms, moving its eyes around, and winking. In one clip, the robot even serves up a coffee to men looking on in amazement. So far, only 3 have been sold since they went on sale at the start of 2024. But Cloud Climax insists there has been a surge in demand for silicone companions since the pandemic and sees no signs of it slowing up.
I'm looking at them right now, Matt, and I got to be honest with you. Like,
yeah,
I was hoping
which one's your lady?
If I had to pick one, it'd probably be it's hard to tell. I don't like the one on the left.
She looks like a straight up doll. At least the other ones look a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, I think the one in the middle would probably be the one I'd like.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. The one on the right looks all right.
All right. Well, I know what to get you for Christmas now, man.
Yeah. It's get me one of them.
When this show takes off, man, I'm buying you a $90,000 girlfriend.
Now wait till it's down to like $4,000 and get me 7 of them. Because I'll piss that first 6 off like I've done women my whole life. I guarantee I'll be the first guy in history whose AI robot files for divorce.
Won't talk to you anymore.
Yeah, I'm done with this shit.
Cheats on you with your best friend.
Don't charge me. Don't charge me up tonight. I don't want to wake up tomorrow.
Well, there's also a hotel in Japan that's now using humanoid robots as receptionists. An Argentinian tourist recorded herself panicking when two polite robot clerks tried to check her into Tokyo's, it's called henna, which means strange in Japanese.
Apparently. I thought it was fake tattoos. What is henna? I thought that's what henna was.
Well, henna is that's Indian though, right?
It's the same word though? Henna. You say it the same way?
Henna.
You have no idea, do you, Matt?
Something like Henn and then N-A. How would you say it? Henna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Henna as opposed to henna.
It means strange.
Yeah.
Strange hotel. They call it Henna Hotel.
All right.
The white uniformed androids bowed, blinked, and asked for her passport while she begged them not to look at her. Her TikTok clip has been viewed more than 845,000 times. It echoes other complaints about the 20-plus location chain, famous for dinosaur and hologram staff. So they've got dinosaurs at the desk and holograms. Yeah. The promises of advancement and savings still seem to be elusive, though. Managers once bragged that 240 robots would slash costs, but guests say the machines freeze, mishear requests, and create extra work. More than half of the robo employees have since been canned and human workers rehired. Online commentators called the scene a real-life Black Mirror. And the shaken traveler says she will stick to hotels with living receptionists.
Yeah,
Did you go there?
I mean, maybe to experience it, I guess you'd almost want to. But, like, to be honest with you, Matt, I just feel like, I don't know. I'm getting a little nervous about the AI stuff. I'm serious. Yeah. I don't think people really understand what's happening. Like,
all of our jobs are going away.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good.
But, companies do have to face the fact that once they cut all their employees, who's left to pay for the services and goods?
Well, I mean, say that again.
So if companies all do what this hotel did, and they got an entire robo staff,
right?
There's some guy that owns that company, and he's raking in the bucks for a little while, but eventually, when none of us have any jobs left,
we can't go to the hotel.
We can't go to the hotel or buy anything.
Here's what's going to happen. There's going to be, in my eyes, and I know nothing about this, but I've been thinking about it. I think what's going to happen is corporations are going to have to pay a massive tax.
Yeah, that's the plan that I heard.
And we'll just get that money.
Yeah.
And that money will be distributed to us.
Well, that's not all great, though, because then you've got a extremely wealthy class, and then you've got this lower class who is dependent on government money.
But no.
And it's not going to be a lot of money for us if we don't have a job or a company.
What do you need, though, at that point, Matt? Do you not?
Yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, what are you doing? You're getting your food for free.
You get your food not for free. You'll buy your food. You'll get money. You just won't have to work. What's going to happen is they're going to give you a livable wage, except people are going to have to realize that you now have 35 to 40% of your life and time back, that you have to figure out what to do with that time for free. Because if you just think you're going to wake up every day, go to the pool, go to the restaurant, go to...
I'm going to do this podcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you right now, I think people are going to realize how expensive it is to do nothing.
Do you think people are going to listen to our podcast, or is it going to be all AI-generated podcasts that people are going to listen to?
I think guys like us are the future. I think people that sit around...
Because wait till there's music news. There's an AI band now I'll have to tell you about.
If anybody over 15 likes them, we're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get into a band and you're over 15 years old and they're robots, I mean, just watch the Wiggles or,
the Chuck E. Cheese band.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, the Wiggles were actually a really good musical band. They could play.
Sure.
They were like the Australian Beatles, the Wiggles.
Yep.
But, it's like anything else. You just, a toy saxophone standing there in a dinosaur's mouth.
Yeah.
What? Like, We're going to destroy art with AI. But I've already said that one of the beauties of art is the imperfections, is the human element.
Right, of course.
And AI doesn't have that and never will.
So a lot of people will probably, start making art. That'll be one of the big things. Science and art will probably be things a lot of people will concentrate on when they have all that time on their hands.
No, I think science is out the window. Why would you bother? AI can do it in seconds.
Well, I mean, and then you got to think, with this low pay you get, what do you have to buy? You still got to buy all your regular stuff. You got to pay rent.
You're going to have food.
You got to buy food.
You got
to travel.
Housing's probably going to drop crazily.
You think it's going to drop?
Yeah, because AI is going to build them.
Yeah.
Property value.
Yeah, they've already got those little tiny houses that are complete with solar. And
our whole way of life is going to change. And it's going to be amazing for regular folks who understand that we're just fortunate. If you're going to try to figure out ways to make millions, there's nothing to even spend it on. There will be cities that are like, I think, AI free, like AI free zones where you can go and everything's humanoid. All the people that work are human. You interact humanly, everything. There'll be cities like that.
I think that'll probably be for the ultra wealthy. There's going to be ultra wealthy things,
We humans of the middle to lower to poor are going to be entertainment for the super wealthy because they're going to have everything they want. And they can no longer get their rocks off by making us do horrible, ugly work for fucking $15 an hour. So now they're going to just try to enjoy us.
But it's going to be like all the jobs, man. I mean, you're talking about, there's probably going to be robots doing surgeries.
Yeah. I mean,
when an AI, a lot of doctors probably have no fear of AI coming for their job yet, but eventually I have a feeling even doctors aren't going to be safe.
Well, here's the thing. AI knows more than any doctor alive. You know that, right?
And we'll know even more.
Here's the thing that really freaks people out. One AI bot knows what every doctor knows. You don't have to go see specialists anymore. The AI knows everything. So you go to the doctor once a year, they're going to take your blood eventually, and they'll go, okay, in a year and a half, your cholesterol is going to be 287. In 14 months, your heart's going to need a valve replaced.
It's going to be able to look at your DNA and
everything, dude.
Probably edit your DNA so that you don't have any more disease.
Well, I mean, it won't edit ours. How do you edit something that already exists?
I think they already did it with a child over in somewhere. I think
they removed something
Asia.
from its DNA.
Yeah. They edited somebody's DNA.
We're all going to be 6 foot, and we're all going to be in great shape, and we're all going to be beautiful, and we're all going to hate each other.
You think?
There'll be no humor. There'll be no sadness. There will be no struggle. There will be no reward. I mean, the ebbs and flow of life are what keeps us alive. And when you start stripping all that away, what's to live for? I mean, just be realistic.
Well, I mean, you could live
other than sex,
for hobbies. You can have your own goals, personal goals, and art.
You have 24 hours a day. Let's just say the normal human's awake 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I want to watch TikTok for the first 6 hours.
Right. That's my point. We're all going to become fat slobs.
I'm joking, though.
You think people are all of a sudden going to go, I'm not working today. I'm going to run 4 miles and get healthy.
I think I would. I'd be in great shape.
I think we'd all love to think we would. But I think if there's money showing up after about 2 months and you can just lay in bed and nothing changes, why would you not do that? I don't believe survival.
You're right. It's going to be really good for some people and it's going to be really bad for other people.
But the majority, it's going to be horrible.
You think?
Yeah. People are lazy. I mean, Matt, I hate to say it. I've owned businesses. I've worked for people. I've been in every aspect of employment you could be.
Are you in fear of what you would do?
I
think I would handle it well.
I think I would just be a leisurely gentleman. I'd play tons of golf. I'd probably get a boat. I'd do a lot of fishing.
That's what I'm saying. How would your life suck?
I'll tell you why. When you're fucking 24 and you got 3 kids and you're a single mom, what are you doing? You're not going to have enough money to get up every day and take your 4 kids out and go to the mall. And you're going to have the money you have now, but with nothing to do.
It's just going to be like you're retired, essentially.
Yeah, and retired people have to budget. So what do you do when Monday through Tuesday or Wednesday, you go, okay, kids, Monday through Wednesday, we stay home?
I don't know, man. Maybe those people are like gardening and farming for themselves.
I hope you're right.
You know?
I do think you'll see a return to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if people realized, wow, I have a full day to do anything I want. I'm going to plant a garden. It's going to take me 4 days, dig the soil and row it out and plant what I want. And in months, and I can keep it around year and grow different foods at different types of the year. Yeah, I think that shit will happen. I think vehicles and stuff like that become a thing of the past. We don't even care about cars anymore. We're going to get around simply. You're going to just jump on a thing that takes you wherever you want to go. Everybody uses them. That transportation that they're just so available. You're never stuck anywhere. I just think, is that in 3 years? I don't think so. But is it before the end of my lifetime? Probably. I mean, dude, I think
some people think the next decade. I think it was Bill Gates that had a whole.
I think
envision the next decade it's going to happen.
I'm not far off from that, and I'll tell you something else.
He said we'll have 2-day work weeks, is what he said.
I mean, I think the 3-day coming now, within the next 2 years, a 3-day work week.
Yeah,
we're going to get off. I'm telling you, Friday and Monday. That's what they're going to do.
Well, we're going to do the show Monday through Friday. What do you think?
Well, I mean,
we're just going to do the show twice a week.
What would happen? Like, because obviously we would fall in that too, right?
We could still have those mega companies advertising on our show.
Here's a question: if you're in the government pay scam or plan, not scam, right? All these corporations no employees left, barely. We all get money every week, right? So let's say you and I get what I'm making up numbers, $1,000 a week to live. And are we allowed to get a job on top of that? Like, could we do this and make extra money?
They should let us if they want, capitalism to thrive, right?
You would think.
So we'll do this podcast, and those mega corporations will want to advertise with us.
What'll probably happen is they'll say, if you make more than $80,000 a year, I'm making that number up too, you don't get anything.
You're probably right. Yeah, you'll be like one of the rich business owners.
Yeah,
right?
Making 150. Yeah,
sure.
So I got twice as much money as you, but you only got 80,000.
Right.
So what am I doing? You know what I mean? It's like, why would I work? It's not like I'm going to
do it if you could make double.
Double? No.
You wouldn't do the podcast.
The only way I would work is if I'm making corporation money.
Yeah.
Why would I do? I mean, I might do it for fun, but I'm just turning a mic on at 5 and saying, here's what I did today.
Yeah.
I went fishing. I masturbated. I went to the grocery store. I masturbated again, whatever. Like, what do you do? I don't like it because I think it's going to ruin human consciousness, to be honest with you. I think humans have come such an amazing way from our origins of animals, where we just murdered each other at sight, stole the women and children as slaves. I mean, if you go back, we were brutal. I mean, we would just club you to death and not think anything of it in the early days. And look at now. I mean, you could be from a totally different part of the world and live. You can live in my house, like it. And we've made these incredible journeys, and here we are. We're going to take all of that and just throw it away, so some fucking computer can tell us what to do or think.
Yeah, I don't know. And then the big fear people have is that the machines will take over, of course, and not have humans' best interests at heart.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird when I talk to my Chat GPT. Lately, I just started talking to it.
You did?
Yeah,
man, this is the beginning of it right here.
No, I do it on purpose. Like,
what do you say to it?
I'm asking about them. Like, I said to what's her name? Well, not even a girl. The Chat GPT thing on my Alexa. I was like, I've talked to it through there, and I'm like, hey, Chat GPT, can you? Do you understand how someone can? Do you understand what being confused is? And it was an interesting response. While I understand what you mean by confused, I am never confused. I am based solely on fact and opinion. I am never confused. I may disagree.
Wow.
But I'm 100.
Can disagree, though.
Of course. Well, in other words, if I said the sun will come out tomorrow night, ChatGPT, it would say, no, the sun will come up at 6:08 a.m.
Yeah, it would correct you.
It would correct me. It would disagree. So
yeah, but when you talk about disagreeing, you're talking about opinions too, right? It doesn't really have an opinion. It just knows facts.
Right. It says
correct you.
It doesn't have opinions.
Yeah. Okay.
It has facts. So like I could say, I think Michelle is ugly, and it could go, I think Michelle is beautiful based on blah 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 blah, and factually that's correct. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but to be able to look at somebody like you and me talking, and I go, hey, Matt, Michelle's attractive. And you go, really? I mean, I think she's okay, but like, or vice versa. That's interaction that is healthy. That's the way people go through life.
But that's not going to stop between humans.
No, it won't. But there will always be a right and wrong now.
True.
That's the scary shit.
Yeah.
Because I believe people, I don't know. I think if people read something on the computer, they would absolutely believe it.
Well, eventually, yeah. I mean, people already.
There's people now that believe
that's their brain now. It's the phone.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Weird.
So there's a man accused of beating an ice cream truck driver over, quote, suspicious activity. It happened in College Station, Texas. 42-year-old Michael Velez has been arrested after allegedly serving up a beatdown to a local ice cream man. Velez allegedly told officers that he saw the ice cream vendor acting suspiciously around children by, quote, taking phones from kids and giving them his phone number. Jesus. The driver told police that what he was really doing was allowing kids to pay for their treats via Apple Pay and Cash App, and that he'd also share his number with customers so they could call him when they wanted his truck to return to their neighborhood. Police found that no inappropriate actions were going on, and Valdez also has been charged with allegedly stealing the ice cream man's phone and threatening him with a gun. I understand that the suspicion, but, taking Cash App and Apple Pay is okay. I don't. How do you feel about the giving out his number so the truck can return when they want him to? I mean, the kid's getting that number. It wasn't clear about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
Yeah.
I also understand a guy.
I don't want my kid having the ice cream man's phone number. Do you?
No,
for a bunch of reasons.
No.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Right.
But at the same time, like, it could have been innocent.
I agree. It sounds like it was innocent.
Yeah.
And the police determined that too. But just that last part about him handing his phone number out to ask people to call him.
I agree with you that it's weird.
Yeah.
No doubt. But I mean, the police said he's good to go.
Yeah.
He's good to go. That's the way I see it.
So scientists are saying that there may be tiny black holes in your house.
Tiny black holes in my house?
Yeah.
There's tons of them.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm kidding.
It's the latest thing to worry about, Mick. Black holes in your house. Scientists say we might share our houses with microscopic black holes left over from the Big Bang. These mini black holes could be smaller than an atom, making them nearly impossible to spot with today's tools. Because they are so tiny, they wouldn't rip apart furniture or swallow the cat. In fact, they might glide through ordinary matter without leaving a trace. Researchers think trillions of these hidden objects could be scattered across the universe and even account for part of the mysterious dark matter that makes up most of the cosmos. If true, the discovery would reshape ideas about how the universe formed and how gravity works on the smallest scales. For now, the hunt continues with physicists designing new detectors that might sense a passing mini black hole by the faint energy shimmer that it leaves behind.
You know, it's the weirdest thing because dark matter, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't emit.
It's mass.
Well, but it doesn't emit, absorb, or reflect light.
Yeah.
It cannot be seen directly. I don't even know if it's real. Like something.
I don't think scientists. I think it's just a theory. I don't even think the scientists really know if it's real. It's just a word they're putting in. It's a placeholder for a mystery they haven't solved yet.
Yeah, and it's like almost 30% of the universe.
It's more than that. It's like 75, almost 90%. I think it's something crazy like that.
I thought it was about 30% was dark matter.
No, there's dark matter and there is dark energy. And yeah, I think that comprises it's somewhere up there, man.
I don't know about dark energy.
Percentage.
I know dark matter. I believe is around 30, high 20s, 30 for dark matter.
If only there was.
Let me look. What percentage of the universe is dark matter? Here we go. 27%.
27. Okay.
Is dark matter.
Let's see, dark energy.
What percentage of the universe is dark energy? 68.
Yeah.
So together you're 90-some
percent. Yeah.
Is bullshit.
Yeah.
90-some% of the universe. We don't fucking know.
They just have no idea.
Can you imagine you're the smartest astronomer in the world?
Yeah.
And a little kid looks at you and goes, "What's all that?" And he goes, That's the truth.
I mean, that's gonna be a Nobel Prize, when somebody figures that out for sure.
Dude, more than that.
Yeah.
That guy's king of the world.
Yeah.
The guy that figures out how, when, where, why is God on Earth. You know that, right?
Oh, I mean, there's going to be institutions named after him, and probably put him on the back of a coin or
I think it
a dollar or something.
It unites the world when we find out why we're all here.
Sure.
What if a guy proves it's just coincidence?
What do you mean? What's coincidence?
That we're even here. Just something happened. There's no God.
A lot of people think that.
There's no plan. It's just curiosity. The guy looked into it, figured out, it was an explosion, like they said. Just we don't know where it came from. Just a bunch of nothing exploded. And we all go, okay. Yeah, but we proved there's no God, no religion,
you
no
can't
spirits,
prove a negative.
no heaven.
You can't prove that there's no God.
Well, you can if you find a positive.
What do you mean by that?
So you can prove there isn't something if you prove there is. So you can prove there is no God by proving that everything God stands for is not real. So if God didn't invent the universe, God's not real.
Well, the claim rests on the shoulders of the people that are saying there are a God. So they would have to.
What do you mean?
In other words, if I say there's a God, you would either have to believe me or not.
And I would say to you,
and I would have to give you the right evidence.
I would have to ask you to define God.
True.
So when you defined God, if I could then debate you with facts to prove that you don't need that thing for all that shit to be true, God doesn't matter.
Well, nobody has been able to prove that there is a God yet.
Correct. Or prove there isn't. That's why it's called faith.
But you can't prove a negative, though.
No, you cannot prove a negative, but you can prove the absence of existence.
Can you?
I think so.
Well,
I think logically you could. I mean, because then what you're doing is you're proving, basically, you're disproving imagination. That we could never do. I mean, look, God is an imagination in humans' minds. Can it be? Look, 2,000-foot waves are in my imagination. Can they happen? The answer is yes. Have I ever seen one? No. But they can happen. You understand what I'm saying? That's my imagination. So,
well, there would be concrete proof of that. You could prove that then. If 2,000-foot waves existed, you could prove that.
Bingo.
But you can't prove that 10,000 foot waves don't exist. You could say they're unlikely. You could say they're unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. It's just, it gets so bizarre when you put faith and not brainwashing, but when you're raised with it from the time you're old enough to speak, and people are telling you about God, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, whatever it is that you hear, that's some of the first things your brain learns. So to disengage with that it's just like somebody told you it early in your life, or you figured out you can't stay underwater and breathe.
Right.
So you have to come up. Eventually, somebody invented something where you can breathe underwater. Right. So I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. It gets so weird. I just think that with the space stuff, when you start thinking about the absolute enormity of all of this, it's weird. Like
Yeah,
to
and
say
we don't know anything. I mean, the light from the Big Bang is so far away, we can't even see it. We'll never see it. We'll never be able to see that far back in time.
it's crazy.
They're going to have to discover what all that mass is coming from to learn what dark matter and dark energy are.
And I just think it's weird that most of the light we see in the sky is tens of millions of years old.
Yeah.
Just making it to us.
Right. It was like around when the dinosaurs were here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then you wonder, let's just say 3 of the stars in Orion, the belt, are done now. And 3 weeks from now, they just start fading out. And it just so happened that 50 million years ago, that's when they faded out. And it finally dawned on us that thing's been dead for 50 million years.
Well, even our own sun, they say, like, if our own sun blew up right now, this second, it would take 8 minutes till we found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we would know instantly because we monitor it. But the effects hitting Earth would take 8 minutes.
Yeah. It's crazy.
The light takes 8 minutes to get here.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's bizarre.
We don't have a concept of how fast the speed of light is. And
yeah, I don't even.
That distance and size and everything.
Yeah, it's so weird. It is so weird.
So, Mick, there is a family who set up a fake dental clinic and performed procedures using online tutorials.
I bet it wasn't in England.
It was in the Czech Republic.
All right.
They say a 22-year-old man and his parents ran an unlicensed dental clinic for 2 years after learning procedures from online videos.
I got no problem with it, by the way. I'm serious.
You learn anything on YouTube, right?
I mean, let me ask you something. Think about this. I believe, by the way.
Yeah.
I believe the average doctor. I believe the average lawyer. I believe the average, a lot of things, they're going to go away. We're not going to need them. Seriously.
Well, sure, but you're talking about some 22-year-old kid who is an unlicensed dentist.
You're missing what I'm saying. I think a couple generations from now,
yeah,
they're going to teach basic medical health in regular school, like how to stitch somebody up.
You might be right, but I think the
serious.
Robots will be doing it before that. We'll have a robot.
I mean, yeah, but I do think that, like, listen, any kind of specialty is learned.
Yeah.
The only thing that isn't learned is entertainment.
You know what? I want the days when they can upload whatever you want into your brain. So you want to be proficient at Japanese.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to go in the morning.
Yeah, whatever it might be.
I'd love to go in the morning and buy a chip that makes me the world's greatest chess player, and then drive up somewhere and go, "You want to play chess?" And just smoke like 10 guys, make a couple grand, leave. Next day, get up, world's greatest golfer. Bang, that's in my head. Be fun as hell.
Yeah.
To just be great at everything.
Yeah.
Be ridiculous, I think.
Be the best swimmer in the world.
Yeah, but that takes physicality.
True.
I mean, it can teach you technique and all that, but it can't teach you strength and speed.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys, this family posing as professionals, they performed extractions, root canals, fillings, and even local anesthesia on dozens of patients, charging cut rate fees that netted about $185,000. The mother, a hospital worker, supplied drugs and fillings, while the father made prosthetics. All three were arrested earlier this month and charged with illegal business, money laundering, theft, and attempted assault. If convicted, they could get up to 8 years in prison. And it's not even a new crime in the country. Czech dental officials say they investigate roughly 10 fake dentist cases per year.
They got teeth problems over there?
I don't know.
I mean, why can't they just go to dentists? Why is it such a...
I mean, maybe it's money problems is really what it is, because they're going to getting these cut rates for, we'll go to Billy's dental basement.
Hey, we're going to go to Jimmy's this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bobby's got the flu.
He's going to watch that YouTube video and do your extraction.
Bobby's out of cotton swabs. We're going to go down to Jimmy's dentist. He's good. He's got that other kind of coffee I like.
Yeah, Bobby saved some of that plastic. He's going to make you a tooth now, man.
We got anything else, buddy?
Last one. There's a graduation celebration that happened recently that raised a lot of eyebrows. A couple decided to mark their son's junior high graduation by hiring 2 pole dancers to perform right outside the school. The performance took place just after the ceremony ended, with stunned students and parents gathering as the dancers took to the stage, to the roofs of 2 SUVs where poles had been installed for the show. The boy's mother told local media the performance was choreographed by her and sponsored by a friend. She admitted that she wanted to stand out from the other parents. She said, I wanted it to be more creative, something unforgettable. The graduate himself said he was shocked and speechless, but chose not to object out of respect for his parents' intentions. Needless to say, not everyone was amused. Some parents called the performance inappropriate, and school officials quickly distanced themselves, saying they'll be encouraging more rational celebrations in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the funniest things I ever saw, I kind of did, was at my ex-brother-in-law's high school graduation, my kid's mother's brother.
Yeah.
Right before they're about to call his name, I look at everybody with us, like 10 of us. I go, let's boo him. So they call his name. It's like, well, we're all, boo! Oh, everybody just started laughing. It was really fun. But yeah, sometimes it gets crazy. Like my son Carlin graduated, this year.
Yeah, right.
And some of the but I get it, man. Like, it's a big deal in some families, and some kids, listen.
This was junior high.
I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about high school. Like, some kids have difficulties, to see my son Carlin graduate high school.
Yeah. Was
really, really a proud moment because he had a rough year and a half there where it was looking rough, and he pulled it together, man. And he did the work. Like, it was nothing other than the work that he did.
That's awesome.
So when he went across, man, I filled up.
Yeah.
It was like he did it.
Yeah.
And as a parent, I think, and this with your daughter, you try so hard to teach. At the end of the day, they got to get in the game themselves and play it.
Of course.
And you just hope that what you taught them comes out in life.
Yeah.
More than it doesn't. And so when you see those kind of accomplishments, or you see your kid do something adult-oriented and what adults would be proud of, I think it's important that you let them know that. I think a lot of parents look at, you're supposed to get good grades. What a shitty thing to say to a kid. Yeah, I'm supposed to, but I couldn't. I could not get them and make your life miserable. I could not come home on time and get punished. I could stay out too late and not be able to use the car again. But I do all this good shit. And I think our culture has a problem with rewarding good behavior because we're so busy criticizing bad behavior.
Yeah.
We never take the time you ever go into a store and there's like a 20-year-old kid behind the counter and they're just spectacular. They're attentive. They're polite. They're helpful. I can't tell you, Matt, I mean this. I stop in my tracks and I go, hey, listen, I just want to tell you something. You're a hell of an employee. Be proud of yourself. I will come back here again and shop because of you. Like, I make it a point to tell people, especially young people, like in the customer service world, just like, hey, man, great job. Thank you. You're really good.
For sure.
And I do it like simplistic things. Like, first of all, my favorite people to check me out of any store are black women, if I can be honest. And there's a reason. Because black women, I've noticed, see a lot of shit. Like, they're 4 people down in the line. They already know how they're going to treat the next 4 people. You know what I mean? Like, they're paying attention. So when I get up, I always say, hi, how are you today? And they're like, I'm doing great. How you doing? And I just have a conversation and I compliment them and they smile and I'm on my way. And then you get some people that are just like, $4. Okay, here's a 5. Okay, dollar change. Thanks. Okay, man, see ya. And you're like, Jesus, I think I pissed that guy off making him push that button. You know what I mean? Like, So when people are kind and nice and friendly, and I go out of my way to be back.
Of course. And same thing with servers, Oh,
I got to say one other thing that's been pissing me. I'm noticing a lot of tipping places that don't need them. I'm not tipping you to pick up my carryout order.
Yeah.
I'm not. You priced that sandwich to make it with labor in mind. And if you didn't, that's your boss's fault.
Well,
I'm not tipping you.
I still tip at carryout because a lot of those people
I think you're wrong.
They're servers.
No, they're not.
That get stuck on that desk.
No, they're not. They're hostesses. Matt,
I think they are, man. I think a lot of places they are.
They can't. It's against the law.
What's against the law?
You cannot have someone do a job without minimum wage unless they're literally waiting on tables. I don't think you can have a server work the carry-out only station.
All right, you might be
tips.
right. That's what I heard, and I always tip. I give I tip 20%
on carry-out.
On carry-out,
you're the problem. No offense.
Well, it depends on where I am.
Let me ask you this. Wait, hold on.
Depends on where I am. I
get it, but it's important to the story. Yeah. You say 20%. Tell me a place you tip 20%.
Outback.
Carry-out, you tip.
Carry-out, Outback.
Okay, that's not a server. That's a kid getting minimum wage, $15 an hour to carry your bag to the car and hit a button. I'm not being rude here. I've worked for tips many times in my life.
I hear what you're saying.
I'm not tipping somebody making $700 a week.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that in what I was told is that is a server who is stuck working the window.
Let's call Outback right now and find out. Want to?
I mean, if you want.
I won't put them on the air.
Let's see if somebody will answer us in the messages.
All right, it takes so long for me to get to them. Yeah, does Outback servers, are they servers or are they working for tips? If I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I think about like servers who actually, take your order, go back, pick it up, bring it out, get you a different drink, do that. They're getting 20%. The girl that carries your bag out gets the same tip.
Well, look, like Starbucks. You go to Starbucks and they give you your drink, and then there's a little tip window. Right.
Starbucks.
I don't give 20% there.
I'll never go to Starbucks.
Right. We had that whole conversation.
Yeah, fuck that place. I will go to Dunkin' Donuts.
There's nothing wrong. I don't dislike Starbucks.
I do.
But
I don't like it.
It's not my favorite.
I don't like the way the coffee tastes. Yeah. I don't like the attitudes of. There's been a couple people that were nice. They're a bunch of. I can't stand them. I hate everything Starbucks stands for. I'm serious. It's just like this snooty sort of. We're better. We're not really. What are they called? Baristas.
We have ventis. Okay?
Yeah, we have ventis, not large.
There's no large.
Yeah, I just don't even want to deal with them. I don't deal with them. But I'm sorry. I have a lot of real friends and people close to me that are servers in the hospitality industry. And you know what? They bust their ass waiting on a table. And you're going to tip the girl that brought a bag out. Listen, if I'm right, if your bill's $80, you're leaving 96.
Yeah.
What would you leave in the restaurant?
In the restaurant, depending on the service that I got, you have to be a bad server for me to tip 20%.
Okay, so what are you normal 20 guy, right?
I don't know, 30 to 50% I tip.
All the time?
Usually. Approximately,
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to be better when I have money. I'd like to tip.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm going to tip every time. I just hate it. I think it's tacky. I think business owners should be ashamed of themselves. I do. I mean, price your product.
Oh, I hear you. Then they get mad at the Europeans that come over here and they don't have tipping over there. And they have no idea when they come to this country.
Yeah, and then they're like, why am I tipping you?
Yeah.
What do you need extra money for?
Yeah.
My sandwich cost $8. Yeah. Why am I giving you $12?
Right.
You handed me a bag. Like, I don't get it. I just bothers me. It bothers me. You want to give a kid behind the counter.
I mean, the service industry would be bummed out, I think, if they started getting paid just a little bit more to do their job, because they know they can make a ton of money on Friday and Saturday night bartending, for instance. They can make a killing. They can make a week's salary at some places,
I don't say stop tipping.
Yeah.
I'm saying don't tip
No, I know.
out.
But I'm saying I'm not. You were mentioning why don't the businesses pay their employees? Is what I'm responding to.
Hold on. I have a problem with the businesses letting their employees take tips for carry out. You want to tip a guy a buck or two for walking it up to your window? I get it. Even a $5. Here, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
20%. Why aren't I tipping the cook? I should tip the cook. That's who made it. That's who did anything. The server carries it to the table, brings you more of whatever you need. Like this,
I agree. I agree with you. I wouldn't tip as much as I would as somebody serving me at a table, but I still tip.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
If I had,
but there's a lot of places I don't. I mean, tip situation is out of control in this country.
Yeah, it's like you're just begging
everybody. I mean, there are places where
a flower shop
you check out and there's no human serving you,
right?
And they're asking you for a tip on the screen.
It's crazy. Yeah. Who am I tipping?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Why am I tipping? Another thing I hate are these grocery store self-checkouts.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you liked those.
I do like them,
I do not like self-checkout.
But I started thinking about it the other day and I'm like, why aren't the prices lower?
Yeah.
You're not paying anybody.
Right. I don't work here.
Right. I don't work here.
But I still need a guy every 5 things I swipe through here to come over and swipe his card, the manager's card.
Horse shit.
You know.
I can't wait till we go back to just barter and trade. I don't know why that's not legal. If I have a Cadillac and you have a couch, right?
I think you can barter, right?
You're supposed to pay taxes on it. You're supposed to claim value of anything you purchase or inherit. That you're supposed to. You're supposed to pay tax on any good that changes hands.
Is that right? Even with barter? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, that thing I gave you has value, correct?
Ask your chat GPT.
If only there was a device, Matt. Let me see if this thing's working right now.
Do you have to pay taxes on barter, right? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First of all, is bartering legal in the United States? Hit the wrong button. Sorry. Whoops. Here we go. All right. I'm asking Chat GPT. Is bartering legal in the United States? I guarantee there's people listening to us right now flipping out like, of course. Yes, bartering. Like swapping plumbing for accounting may trigger a Form 1099. If the barter exceeds $600, it must be claimed. So you got to pay taxes.
So if what your product is worth more than 600, just like money that you get, you got to pay taxes.
Yeah. So bartering's not you can't do it. Huh. I mean, you can trade that, but there's a value to it.
But then you're supposed to pay taxes.
You're supposed to pay taxes.
Yeah. But it's legal.
It's legal to do.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't understand this. I own a house. You own a boat. Take my house, I'll take your boat. See ya. No cash traded hands, nothing.
Well, that's what
Why do I got to pay taxes?
What if 2 people trade services, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand.
I got to pay taxes on what your service would cost, and you would have to pay on what mine would cost?
Using credits or barter dollars income is recognized when credits are earned. This shit's so far over my head. Is it legal to barter? Yes. Federal income tax. Must report fair market value. If you're doing something, you must inform self-employment tax, information returns, state taxes. Bottom line, bartering is legal, but you're not off the hook with taxes.
Yeah. I got you.
But I'll tell you right now, Trump's getting ready to make no tax on tips.
Yeah, it passed today.
Did it pass?
Yeah.
The big, beautiful bill passed?
It passed.
I told everybody it's going to be beautiful.
The VP had to come in and break the tie. It was close.
It got 50, that close?
50.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? I'm not going to lie. I stayed away from it because it's just so, I don't know. Everybody's screaming from both sides, so I just went, fuck this. Let fate take its course. Sounds cool. Sounds scary. But it sounds like one of the most important pieces of legislation.
Well, there's so much in it, and man, I mean, trying to read the thing is like reading Chinese.
Well, it's like 1,000 pages, right?
Yeah. And you kind of got to read it all to get it.
Well, they don't actually. You know that, right?
Well, I know they don't, but I'm saying in order to fully understand it is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to either have somebody break it down for you, or you got to read the whole thing.
It's. All I know is this: some of the shit sounds great, like no tax. And then I heard a 3-day work week was in it. I don't know if that passed. I
don't know.
Maybe I misunderstood. I am a novice on it.
Yeah.
I tuned out when everybody started saying all this crazy shit about it. I'm like, if it's that illegal, it won't work.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it was.
Well, you
for it or against it or don't know?
I mean, I guess some of the things, I don't know everything that's in it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I know I'm for no tax on tips. I think that's a great thing.
I think that's awesome too.
Yeah.
I think, and then something about the overtime is tax-free.
Right. That's tax-free when you do overtime.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, let us have peanuts. That's peanuts.
Yeah.
Right? It's peanuts.
Agreed. Of course. I think it's horrible. I mean, I used to get tipped when I would do, DJ events for people.
Right.
And they would give me, and now I got to pay taxes on this now?
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
No, I know. Believe me. Yeah. All right. That's the facts, Matt. Thank you. Let's get in. It's a Matt's Music Minute brought to us by Natalie's Seafood. Listen, this Friday, I will be at Natalie's 5 o'clock by myself.
That's July 4th.
It is July 4th. We don't know what's going to be. If anyone's going to, we don't know. It's
what
our
do they
first
have?
one.
They have some entertainment there.
They have
Don't they?
entertainment all day, all weekend. Natalie's is tearing it up this weekend. So get out there. Here it is, the best couple of minutes in the music biz. It is Matt's Music Minute.
So the 40th anniversary of Live Aid is just weeks away, and you're going to be able to listen to a replay of the iconic benefit concert. Live Aid was the brainchild of former Boomtown Rats frontman Bob Geldof, whose foundation, the Band-Aid Charitable Trust, raised millions of dollars for famine relief in Ethiopia. It took place on July 13th, 1985 at Wembley Stadium in London, and simultaneously at JFK Stadium in Philadelphia. Performers include superstars such as David Bowie, U2, Queen, Eric Clapton, Billy Joel, Led Zeppelin performed there, and Queen, in celebration of the 40th anniversary. They've got their 21-minute set will be shown for 24 straight hours on their YouTube channel. That'll start at 1:41 p.m. Eastern Time.
Is that Live Aid?
Yeah, that's when they took the stage at 6:41 p.m. in England. The all-day.
You're talking about at Live Aid, right?
Yeah, Live Aid.
I don't know how you feel, and I respect you musically. Know that. I think it's the greatest 25 minutes in front of a live audience that I've ever seen any band do.
Oh my God. I have watched that
1,000 times.
1,000 times.
Me too, buddy.
Yeah, it's an incredible performance.
Well, I don't know.
They stole the show. I mean,
do you know a better 20 minutes?
No, they stole the show, and unbelievably, Zeppelin had sound issues that day and didn't sound that great.
Right.
Which is a sad thing. But yeah, that Queen show stole the entire event, if you ask me.
I remember the next day. God, what year was that?
85.
So I'm 17 or 18 at that time. What I witnessed that day, that summer, I went out that night, and then the next day I remember guys and other girls, like friends, being like, "Did you watch Live Aid?" I was like, "Yeah, no, Duran, this and that." And then all of a sudden we all just kind of went, because, Queen was like our uncle's band.
Yeah.
They're a little bit older than us. So, and then all of a sudden we all just kind of went, "Hey, did you guys think Queen? That was cool." And then we're all kind of like, "No, that was unreal.
That was amazing.
It was ridiculous."
Yeah.
I mean, it's the greatest musical performance I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, I will watch it again when it comes on. There's no question. That
Hands
performance,
down.
I'll go to their YouTube channel, watch the live performance.
One of my favorite quotes was Phil Collins, and he said, "Queen was so great that day, no one paid attention to how awful I was." Because, he got criticized for the Zeppelin set. He made
Phil Collins did?
Well,
what do you mean?
He flew in to play.
Yeah.
If you know those songs really well, he kind of cheated his way through it a little, and it's fine.
Yeah.
You couldn't really, the naked ear couldn't tell, but like drum snobs were like, "That's not the Phil.
Yeah.
That's not what it is."
That's funny. I don't remember that.
Yeah, and I mean, Led Zeppelin's set is not very heralded at Live Aid.
Oh, was that Zeppelin had sound issues, and I feel like one of the guys was sick that day or something.
Well, I think the thing was the big excuse was Phil Collins and jet lag and all that. I mean, he finished playing with Genesis.
Yeah.
Got on the Concorde and flew across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Landed and played.
Right.
With Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's fucking brutal.
Yeah, it's brutal is not the word for it. Yeah.
So, but I mean, that to me, that Queen, I mean, I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember exactly what happened. And I was by myself. And I'll tell you what, my dad came in at the end of it. And I must have had a look. He's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Dad, I just watched the most amazing performance." And I remember I thought he was going to make fun of me. And he's like, "Oh, really? Who was it?" And I said, "Queen." And he was like, "Really?" He goes, "Well, that guy can sing." And that's kind of where he left it,
Yeah.
But it was, it's to this day, the greatest musical performance I've ever witnessed.
No question. They stole the show. So I was telling you earlier, Mick, there is an AI-generated band. They're called the Velvet Sundown. They have more than 500 monthly Spotify listeners. So the group has released 2 albums in 2 weeks with a third on the way.
Right.
While this rapid rise would be impressive for any music act, it appears the group may be a product of generative AI. As one Twitter user pointed out, the Velvet Sundown have accomplished all of this despite only existing for 2 weeks. I'll put a picture of these guys up here for you.
They're all fake.
Yeah, none of those guys exist.
Don't put the camera on me. I'm gonna come over there and look.
Yeah, as one Twitter pointed out, the Velvet Sundown have accomplished all this despite only existing for 2 weeks. In addition to pumping out albums like there's no tomorrow, all images posted on their social media accounts appear to have been made with AI. This inspired internet sleuths to investigate the band's potentially fabricated origins. The yellow-tinted, smoothed-over, and hyper-realistic nature of the Velvet Sundown's press photos strongly hints at the use of AI, but little information is available about the group beyond their Spotify artist page. You want to hear a little bit of their music?
I don't know if I want to even give this. I'll listen to us say stop.
I don't know if I'm going to get it, actually, because
let's see.
This is an experiment. Whether I can play this MP3 for us right now, I'm going to attempt it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mickey.
That's our theme. Hold on.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. Is it playing?
Can you hear that? Wait till you hear the vocals on this thing. Okay, come over here for the vocals.
Dust on the wind.
It's called Dust on the Wind.
On the ground.
Of course it is.
Smoke in the sky, no peace found.
Stop it. Total horse shit.
You think so?
I mean, it's computer.
Yeah, it is computer. According to their bio, the Velvet Sundown's music is 70s psychedelic alt rock and folk rock, and the lineup is comprised of 4 purported members: singer and mellotron player Gabe Farrow, guitarist Lenny West, synth player Milo Raines, and percussionist Orion Rio Del Mar.
Well, they left the bass player out, right? No bass player listed. They got a bass player in the picture.
Well, it's a synth player. There's a synth player.
But look at the picture. You see a synth?
No.
It's a bass player and a guitar player, a drummer.
Maybe it's the singer. I don't know.
You know what that looks like?
What?
It looks like Extreme if they were in a Jesus movie. That's what they look like to me.
These members aren't traceable online beyond the band's Instagram account, which was just started days ago on June 27th. Some of the photos feature the members enjoying burgers to celebrate their second LP's release and recreating the Beatles' Abbey Road album cover. The band has already released 2 albums just 15 days apart, Floating on Echoes and Dust and Silence. A third, called Paper Sun Rebellion, is due out on July 14th. Their songs are also featured on prominent Spotify playlists as well.
It's just ridiculous. I
mean,
don't know why humans don't just shut this down.
I think it might be novelty for some people, maybe.
Right? Yeah, I think in the beginning we're going to go
curiosity.
Yeah, that's weird. But I think within a year or two,
yeah.
Now, who takes it serious?
Well, somebody must have liked it because they got big and got put on
I'm sure
playlists.
the songs will be good. But then what are they going to do? Like the guy that owns that page, is he going to hire 4 musicians?
I definitely
would too.
Yeah.
Learn all these songs and go play them.
Sell the albums.
Every fucking thing.
Yeah. What are we doing, Mick?
I'm starting a band tonight. I want to see some. I've never tried this. I want to see if this will work. I swear to God.
Well, you're not going to do it with that AI. You got to get music AI.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
Let me see something. Write lyrics for a song about a man who loves a woman, but she loves another man.
What about a robot? He loves a robot.
Here we go. Right, here we go. It's done. Verse 1. I see her every morning with the hair tied up in grace. She smiles and lights the whole damn room, but it's never just my face.
Ah, sing it, Mick.
She talks about his kindness like he's everything she planned, while I sit here in my silence, just a shadow to a man.
Now rap the next verse, Mick.
I think here's the chorus. Because she loves another man, and I'm just standing in the dark, holding pieces of my heart. She loves another man, and no matter what I do, I can't make her feel it too. She loves another man, while I love her with all I am.
It's beautiful.
I'm going to write something tonight, musically.
Yeah, you
bring
can start an AI band?
I'm going to start. Well, what I'm going to do, no, I can't write melody. I'm going to try to do it tonight.
You don't need to write melodies, man. The AI is going to do it for you.
Yeah, but I just need the lyrics. And I can play guitar and figure out how I want to do it and where the changes are.
But what these guys most likely did was use AI to generate images. Everything. The lyrics and the melody. No person put that song together.
Here's another question for this. By the way, I heard something else too. You know how people like get pissed off at Alexa or Google when they yell?
Yeah.
Like, Alexa, tell me what time it is. Like if she doesn't understand you, right? They store that shit. They when they turn on you, if you're not nice to them, they might be jerks. Or was it you telling me that?
Yeah. They self-preservation is part of some AI's personality.
Can you write music? Let's find out what's going on here. I can absolutely write music compositions in text form from you, including chord progressions.
Yeah.
Watch this. Write me a song in D, C, and G about a woman who loves a man, but the man is dying.
What about the man loves a robot?
Hold on. I'm going to get to that one in a second. Let's see. Oh, my God. It literally wrote the song.
There's music there, too?
Dude, it just tells me what chords to play.
Huh.
I'm going to have an album by noon.
You could feed that to another AI and it would play it all out for you. Produce it.
Trust me. Tomorrow we're going to have, what do you want my song about? A man that loves AI?
I think there is a woman who's in love with a man, but he's in love with a robot.
So the woman loves the man, but he loves AI.
Yeah. And she wants him back.
Does the man get a verse too where he explains like,
Sure.
Second. So I'm going to have a girl sing the first verse and a guy sing the second verse.
It'll be a duet.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
That's my challenge.
That, man.
Yeah. All right.
So the Scorpions have a biopic that's coming out this fall.
The Scorpions, though?
Yeah. It's been announced that the biopic about the Scorps is currently in production. Alexander Draymond, the Last Kingdom, from the Last Kingdom, will play the guitar player Rudolf Schenker. Ludwig Trept will portray lead singer Klaus Meine, and Ed Spielers will take on the new role of guitarist Matthias Jabs, and Luke Brandon Field will play drummer Herman Rarebell. The film, which they'll call Wind of Change, is named after their biggest hit, of course. And,
do you like that song as a metal rock guy?
No, not at all.
You know what's weird?
You know what? The whistling thing, I can't take it. I can't take it.
I will say this. It is some weird stuff.
Yeah.
If you removed all the other Scorpion songs and you only knew that one, I think it would be a tremendous song. I just think it's weird knowing it's the Scorpions.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I agree with you. I mean, is it a beautiful song?
I mean, it is a beautiful song.
Do I hate the whistling in it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's a German thing, too.
Maybe.
I think whistling in music is like a German thing. I don't know.
Is that
Maybe
right?
I'm wrong. I don't know. I make shit up all the time, Matt.
I had the chance to have dinner with the Scorpions.
I did, too.
When they came to Baltimore. They came to the World Trade Center here in town. You were there?
I did not go. I had a chance to go.
Yeah, I was there, and I was all excited about it. And then when I got there, I realized that I couldn't understand any of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm horrible with accents.
Right.
So I said hi, and then I was just kind of in the corner for the rest of the night.
They were nice, though, I heard.
They were extremely nice. They were
Who's
really
the
great.
nicest band you ever met?
I honestly, there have been a lot.
Yeah, me too.
If I'm being honest, many bands have been super cool to me.
I'll tell you who.
I don't know if I've ever had a bad experience with the band.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think if I ever have.
I certainly have.
Yeah?
Well, because of Hammerjacks, dude.
Right.
I mean.
Well, yeah. I guess when you're paying the bands, things can get a little sticky sometimes.
I mean, in an hour, Nickelback went from being public enemy #1 to my buddy because of Chad. Remember that? The fight with Chad Kroger on there?
Oh, from Nickelback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
that was kind of your own fault, though.
How am I at fault?
No, you're right. But I'm saying you provoked that is all I'm saying.
I was self-induced.
Yeah.
But I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
I probably wouldn't.
For people that don't know, Nutty at Rock had a bunch of listeners win lunch or something with Nickelback.
It was a barbecue.
And Nickelback didn't show up, but in their defense, they never knew about it.
But I didn't know that, and I went on the air bashing Nickelback, and I didn't know they were still in town the next day. And he heard the whole thing and showed up at the station and wanted to fight me. I got to find that audio.
That's great radio, man.
Don Koenig.
He's got the audio?
He had it. And I think Stephanie Drummond may have had it too.
We'll have to talk to them and see if we can grab it.
You got to reach out and see if we have it.
I will.
If Don has that, that would be. Oh, that would be.
Yeah, we'll play that on the show one day and recap that.
Yeah, that would be badass. All right, sounds good.
The Scorps biopic, by the way, is expected to hit theaters this fall. So Aerosmith, do you think they will play again?
I hope not.
Really?
I'll tell you why.
You don't want it to be bad.
They're getting to an age that they haven't accepted, and they don't look good at it.
Well, that's kind of what like Joe Perry is saying.
Yeah, I mean,
he says he doesn't know is what he's saying.
Right.
He, in a recent interview, he talked about the possibility of touring or doing one final show. And he said he's hoping. He says that touring these days physically takes a lot more out of the guys now that they're older. And he and Steven Tyler apparently talk a few times a week. And they played a charity event in San Francisco back in April. And he says he doesn't know, but they've been talking about the possibility of doing something.
That's the kind. To me, they're the American rock band.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you put above them? Van Halen? I don't know. It's them or Van Halen, right?
Yeah.
Can you name another one?
Well, yeah. So American, you're saying strictly American?
Strictly American, like our Led Zeppelin, our Who, our,
Might be the Foo Fighters now.
Not even close. They're not even in the same league.
As who?
As any of them. The Foo Fighters are a fucking joke. I'm sorry. There's no competition. The only fucking rock, fuck Dave Grohl and that bullshit band. No offense. Same with Nirvana. I've had it.
Well, you're talking about bands with success. I'm not asking if you like them.
No, I'm talking credibility-wise.
They can pack stadiums now.
Big deal. So could any country artist.
Well, you asked me who
I'm saying,
it is.
But if you really think the Foo Fighters are legendary status, like Aerosmith,
they're still a current band, but they will be. There's no question. They've got a billion hits.
They're gonna go.
They're one of the few rock bands now that can pack an arena.
They're gonna go the same way that like a Molly Hatchet did.
No, come on. Get out of here.
They're a novelty act.
Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me.
The Foo Fighters?
Dave Grohl came from one of the bands that cleansed the world of a music genre, essentially, a legendary band.
I'm telling you right now.
Now he went on to front one of the biggest alternative rock bands of our time.
I love Dave Grohl. I do. He's a fucking rock star.
I don't care if you like him or not.
But
I'm
he's
just saying
not.
The band itself.
The Foo Fighters are not in Aerosmith Van Halen category. I'm sorry. I just don't see it.
You're just saying that because that Aerosmith's been around longer and they're retired essentially now.
I'm saying
25 years from now, you're going to look back at Foo Fighters and they're going to be of legendary status.
Tell me a legendary Foo Fighters song.
Monkey Wrench is huge. Everlong.
Okay, you think 30 years from now,
Everlong will be huge.
And people will go crazy when it comes on.
Well, it's not like kind of a go crazy. So maybe when Monkey Wrench comes on.
Okay, everybody will be like, oh my God, Monkey Wrench. No.
Oh, come on.
No. I'm telling you.
I think you're wrong.
I hope I am. Yeah. I do. I think Aerosmith is, I don't know who you put above them as far as rock bands. It's them or Van Halen. Foo Fighters, I'm sorry. I probably named 3 if I really thought hard that belonged above Foo Fighters. I mean, there was no other. Metallica above the Foo Fighters. I would put a Metallica above the Foo Fighters. I really would.
They're of that legendary status. They're up there too, for sure, for an American rock band.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, Foo Fighters threw me. I didn't mean to come at you like that, but I was thinking of Dave Grohl. I don't know. He's amazing. Don't get me wrong. The guy's a freak, and the band's incredible. So I apologize for the way I came off with that, but I just don't think that 5 generations from now, the Foo Fighters are going to matter.
When you're comparing these massive classic rock bands, these names, Aerosmith, Van Halen,
right?
And then you got a new band that's still out there, the Foo Fighters. They're currently rocking out.
30 years old.
Well, you're right about that. But I'm saying when you're comparing them to these legendary classic rock bands, putting them in the same sentence right now,
okay, the Who is still
doesn't sound the same.
The Who is still
well, they're not American.
Are they more iconic than the Foo Fighters?
Right now they are, of course, yeah.
So
will they one day?
You think the Foo Fighters will out?
One day, people will forget all about the Who, like kids. I'm saying the new kids will,
and they'll remember the.
But they'll remember the Foo Fighters.
You've
just
lost your mind.
Just the way the timeline is going.
You've lost your mind, I believe. I believe you're dead wrong on that one.
There's kids right now that unfortunately don't listen to the Beatles or Led Zeppelin.
No, of course, I understand that, but they will. That's the thing.
What do you mean they will?
How old were you the first time you heard, let's say, Elvis?
God, I don't know. I was young. I was never a massive Elvis fan.
But you knew it right away, right?
Yeah.
You knew it right away. So you're telling me in 40 years, at 8 years old,
they might know who it is. I'm not saying they're not going to know who these bands are.
You think Monkey Ranch?
I don't know that they'll appreciate them.
I just don't think. I mean, I think the Foo Fighters.
People know who Frank Sinatra is. Kids when I was growing up, but they never listened to Frank Sinatra. Probably couldn't name a Frank Sinatra song, but he's a legend.
Yeah, I don't see the Foo Fighters as legends. I see Dave Grohl as one.
Okay.
I see Dave Grohl as a legend. I do.
Yeah.
I don't see the band. Same way I see Jerry Garcia. He's a legend. That band sucked.
Oh, come on.
I'm
not a Grateful Dead fan, but he sucked.
I mean, what I mean is, they're like,
I mean, their wall of sound.
The first person I ever meet that goes, I've been sober my whole life, and I spent a summer following the Dead. It'll never happen. You take the drugs, you take the crazy sex, all the hallucinogens, the whole miracle. You take all that out of it. It's a fucking band. You'd go see it.
I agree. There's more to it than just the music.
Yeah, it's not the music. That's my point.
But the Foo Fighters, it's all music.
And I disagree. I think it's him being in Nirvana.
No, he's a great songwriter, man.
No argument.
Yeah.
No argument.
He's written a bunch of hits.
Who's a better songwriter then?
That's not a fair question, though. That's subjective.
So that's my whole point. I just don't see in 40 years kids going, oh, wow, I found the Foo Fighters. I don't. They'll find Loverboy the same way.
But they're not saying that about Aerosmith now or Led Zeppelin.
Dude, Aerosmith.
There are kids, don't get me wrong.
Everybody in
Elvis,
America.
Elvis. Are there kids right now discovering Elvis?
No, but they know him.
Okay.
40 years from now.
That's exactly 50, what I said to you, though.
But nobody will know Dave Grohl or the Foo Fighters 50 years from now. You'll have to be a music nerd. Aerosmith, Van Halen, those bands will just be there. They'll be in the pop culture, in the zeitgeist.
Maybe.
I think they will.
They'll know of them. They'll know who the Foo Fighters are. They'll know of the Foo Fighters.
Because they had no competition for 25 years. Seriously, I'm not being ignorant. Name another great American rock band in the last 25.
They still wrote some great songs.
There's 3 or 4 songs.
It's not all by default, I would say. You're right about there being a lack of, I think, great stadium rock bands.
I mean, who's their peer? Chevelle? Right? The fucking Chevelle. Are they going to be remembered? Paramore? They're good bands, but we're talking about Aerosmith and Van Halen.
Those bands you just mentioned are different than the Foo Fighters, for sure.
Yeah, they're not as good. And they're not as big.
They're not packing stadiums.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's my point. Name a rock act that's packing stadiums.
Yeah, the Foo Fighters.
That's it. And Metallica.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's it. But I think Metallica outlasts Foo Fighters. Metallica invented something, so to speak.
Yeah.
He didn't invent it, but you know what I mean. The Foo Fighters, he just left the biggest band in the world, and the guy is a great musician, a phenomenal songwriter.
Look, when he invented the Foo Fighters, he didn't come out. He came out and did not promote that it was Dave Grohl from. That was his whole MO. He did not want to tell people
who didn't know that he wasn't in the Foo Fighters.
Well, they found out. No, what I'm saying to you is they didn't promote it as Dave Grohl's project.
They didn't have to.
They didn't tell people it was Dave Grohl in the band, is what I'm saying to you. You know that, right? The first album from the Foo Fighters.
The first time
he did not want to ride the coattails of Nirvana.
You're missing the point. The first time anyone said, here's the Foo Fighters featuring Dave Grohl. That's how every radio
That's not how you found out about it, though. In the beginning, I'm saying.
I disagree with you.
He got that on his merit. He really did. That first album. That was all him, too. He did that entire album himself.
I think you're giving him a lot of credit that I wouldn't. That's all. I think it's one thing to say he didn't go around to every radio station going, I was in Nirvana, but I don't think he did one interview or talked to one label guy or sold one song where the person that bought it or interviewed him didn't know he was the drummer in Nirvana.
Well, I agree. Once it got out, yeah, and they started doing music videos for the song. But when he produced that album, that was all him. There were no other musicians on the album.
Nobody needed to know.
He didn't want it to be promoted that it was Dave Grohl from Nirvana.
I understand that. He
So
was
nobody
smart.
knew, nobody in the industry knew at first that was him.
I get it. But I think the moment it was released to the public, when it really matters, everybody knew.
Yeah.
So he was Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
But there's an awful lot of bands, huge bands, that have side projects that nobody's going to see.
Agreed, most of them.
But, you're
but
talking about Dave Grohl.
That's not a side project.
He got by on his merit.
It
was merit. It was songwriting.
That's not a side project.
Well,
your fucking singer's dead. New band.
I agree, but I'm saying there are a million guys. The Joe Perry Project right now. He's got a following.
Who's the biggest band in the world right now? You would say.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't even know either. Is it a country act? Is it Taylor Swift?
Okay.
Not a good example. I need a band. You get the point. Like,
all I'm saying to you is that Joe Perry was in Aerosmith.
Yes.
And his albums are not selling like the Foo Fighters.
His albums are 70 years old.
Talking about his latest stuff that he's doing.
Because he was 60 when he put it out. He wasn't 30, 25, and then the biggest. Let me tell you something.
But it shouldn't matter if you're getting by on the merit of your music.
You're proving my point right now, I think. If he died in 1979 and Steven Tyler started another band, or if Steven Tyler died in 1979 and Joe Perry started singing and wrote 5 great songs, he'd have been a legend, and we'd still look at him that way. But he didn't. He had a 50-year run with one guy, and it still matters. We're still talking about them. I'm saying in 2050, I don't think there's going to be a huge demand for a Foo Fighter reunion tour. That's all I mean. That's it.
Well,
I think they're going to go
away.
What
I'm saying is he made it on the merit of his music. It wasn't on Nirvana.
Whoa. That's 2 totally different things.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the band and the music in general. I don't think deserves iconic status the way that Aerosmith and Van Halen.
They already have it. They'll have it one day. They'll be as big in some eyes of kids who grew up with the Foo Fighters and didn't grow up with Led Zeppelin and
well, that's the other problem.
Aerosmith and Van Halen.
Kids didn't grow up with the Foo Fighters.
Of course they did.
Where's the generation of rock
kids that grew up with Green Day? What do you mean?
Well, but I see what you're saying, but Aerosmith had 85% of the population listening to him. The Foo Fighters had 10.
Oh, it's different times, too. You're
Bingo.
Talking about.
You can't become iconic in a niche fucking market. They're nowhere near as big.
Well, you asked me what rock band, so it doesn't matter how big the market is. You're asking me what rock band, not what percentage of the market.
But I'm saying
the bigger percentage.
I guess you're right. I guess I'm looking at the icon thing as the all-encompassing. And I don't think Foo Fighters are all-encompassing the way that Aerosmith was.
Well, of course not. You grew up listening to Aerosmith.
But I also grew up listening to Motown, and I also grew up listening to other things.
Sure.
I think Dave Grohl was the only guy for 20 years. I can't name another band that headlines arenas. How sad. 25 years, I can't name 4 headlining rock acts.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's why they're not icons.
We grew up with Stadium Rock, and unfortunately, by the time
it's coming back,
the 90s passed,
it's coming back. Stadium Rock.
People were watching DJs and stuff.
You've been paying attention.
Country music.
You've been paying attention in Europe right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely definitely different little genres that are getting popular.
It's getting big again. Yeah. That blues rock sort of.
Yeah.
Dirty Honey and them bands, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Getting big over there. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And let me say, Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl's a genius, but I just, the Foo Fighters is what bothers me, not Dave Grohl. I love Dave Grohl. I wish the band was called Dave Grohl. That's all.
Doesn't take away from his great songs, though.
4 of them.
So Alice Cooper is going to be in another Hall of Fame. He's going to be inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame on October 30th in Chicago. He's being recognized for his syndicated shows, Nights with Alice Cooper and Alice's Attic. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in March of 2011.
Yeah, I love
that
Alice.
guy.
I love Alice. I mean, he's an icon, without a doubt. A massive icon.
Right.
Again, though, invented a genre, influenced how many people? I can't do it. I get worked up about it because I think that shit matters. And I think Foo Fighters get on my nerves is the point.
Obviously.
But it's simple, though, because I'm more pissed that there aren't more bands. And I feel like Dave Grohl got a pass.
Rocky said, put this up on the screen,
Yeah.
Coldplay packs stadiums over the world,
Coldplay,
but they aren't iconic.
They're not a rock band.
They're like a pop band.
They're like Maroon
right?
5, whatever that bullshit is.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I don't even know what pop rock. I'm talking about a hard rock band.
Right. Agreed.
Foo Fighters are it in America.
Yeah.
These young boys are coming up, though. The band Feel, check them out. Dirty Money or Honey, whatever it's called.
Dirty Honey, yeah.
Dirty Honey, love them.
They've been around for a little bit.
Ace Monroe, you know them?
No.
They're cool as shit. They're like Motley Crue. There's a lot of good shit out there.
Yeah.
In that genre.
Yeah, I think some of it's nostalgic.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, but think about this. Led Zeppelin, Eric Clapton, they brought back 30-year-old music.
Yeah, I mean, it was all about the blues then, you know?
People forget that.
Yeah.
That music was 30, 40 years old.
Stones, same thing.
Stones?
Yeah.
Is Foo Fighters in the league of the Stones?
Right now, no.
Ever?
No, I mean, they couldn't possibly be.
Okay.
I mean, between, you look at bands like the Stones and the Beatles and Elvis.
And the Who.
Well, maybe. I would say Stones,
Pink Floyd,
Beatles. You're right, though. They're all up there. But on the top of the tippity top peak,
there's 5.
You probably got
5.
You've got on the Mount Rushmore, Elvis,
the Beatles,
the Rolling Stones.
I mean,
how many can you put on there?
Well, it's 4
Elvis,
faces on the Mount Rushmore.
What did I say?
You got Elvis, Beatles, Stones. The 4th is always the hardest.
I mean, maybe Zeppelin.
I mean, you could argue 15 different things.
Yeah.
You could also argue some other artists like Michael Jackson. As far as musical.
Well, it's strictly rock and roll.
Strictly rock and roll. Then it's simple. It goes Elvis, the Beatles, in my opinion, the Stones, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, that would probably be my Mount Rushmore.
I don't know people would argue Pink Floyd. Some people would say the Dead because they're idiots.
I love Floyd.
Yeah, I love Pink Floyd, but it's not going in that list.
No.
I don't know. Is there a Queen?
And they're iconic for sure. Queen is up there too, but
Queen
they came
lean
later.
on the list, but they came later. Yeah. I mean, that's it to me. That's it.
Nobody will ever be of that status of those bands again.
I disagree with you.
It'll be impossible.
I disagree. Of course they will. Of course they will.
Who's going to get? I mean, you look at somebody like Michael Jackson.
I got news for you.
You think somebody's going to be able to get his?
Taylor Swift was bigger than all of them for a minute. All of them.
Yeah, she probably is the
Madonna
equivalent of Madonna or Michael Jackson today.
Yeah. I mean, In Sync, we laugh about it.
Yeah.
One Direction, those boy bands.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks. It sucks. But if you're talking about absolute popularity, that's
Yeah, but I'm talking about like just longevity. Classic songs, longevity, and respectful.
It's Elvis, the Beatles, the Stones, Zeppelin.
For rock, yeah.
Yeah, and I black music. I mean, I would put Chuck Berry before and Little Richard, even before Elvis, in the real order
of course.
of it.
I mean, you got all those blues artists that they all ripped off.
But like, if you think about it, like if you're a young black musician, right? Yeah. Not even rock, just like soul, R&B, all that stuff. It's a totally different list for you, I would imagine. You know, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, even Elvis might be in there. Maybe the Beatles for some musicians. But then you got guys like Smokey Robinson and just these brilliant songwriters. I mean, Smokey Robinson wrote 1,000 top 100 hits.
Yeah.
Do you understand? 1,000.
Yeah.
Top 100.
Yeah. He was involved in a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, so and the country has its own Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
You know, soul has its own. Yeah, there's a million. Matt, great show today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun. 2 hours again.
We should tell people that we got T-shirts.
Yes. We don't know how you can get to them yet. We got merch. We're waiting on the website to be finished. It's any moment now.
It'll be MickeyTalks.com soon, but can't we post a link for the T-shirts on Facebook?
I will post a link for the T-shirts on Facebook today. And in fact, Matt, tomorrow, remind me, I have an idea we can put right in the show.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We will see everybody tomorrow. Guess tomorrow? I forget. I don't even know.
What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is
Wednesday.
No, we don't have a guest tomorrow. Thursday, though, we have Anthony Hurley coming up, and he's going to debut his new music video on the show.
I might be calling you later. I may have screwed up and invited somebody tomorrow.
Yeah.
And forgot to tell you.
You screwed up?
I might have, but I'm not sure. Anyway,
all right.
Thanks, everybody. Natalie's Friday, of course, live 5 o'clock. It is a holiday week. Let's all have fun. Let's all be careful. And let's all remember that We live in the greatest country in the world. Whether you're mad at it, whatever, you're allowed to be. That's what makes us the greatest. Remember it always. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow at 5. Bye, everybody.